In this lecture, we are going to subscribe our platform event using Lightning Aura component. The event that we have created earlier, which is test event, now we will be using that event inside our Lightning Aura component, and we will be debugging the data that we are receiving from the event. So how we can do that is to subscribe platform event and push topics, change data capture. We need to use EMP API module, which is provided by Salesforce itself. It has two main methods, which is subscribe and another one is unsubscribe. Subscribe method requires three parameters, as we also discussed in our earlier lectures while we were working with push topics. One is the name of our channel. Channel can be anything, either your topic, your event, or change data capture. Reply ID, we already discussed about the possible values. -1 to receive the new events, -2 to receive all the previous saved events as well as new events, and any positive number to receive the message after that event. And then there is a callback function which will receive the event. These are the three parameters that a subscribe method asks whenever you are trying to call the subscribe method from your EMP API. An unsubscribe method takes two parameters. One is the subscription record, the subscription that you have subscribed in the very first step, and then callback method which will return you the unsubscribed data. So these are the two main methods, and there is one more which is on error, which we usually call on the load of our component, so that if there is any error occurred while subscribing or unsubscribing the event, we can handle that error and show the appropriate message. These are the steps to implement. One is very first step is in our Lightning component, we must need to use EMP API, Lightning colon EMP API module, and must provide an Aura ID. This is going to play a very crucial role, this Aura ID, into our component. Now what we need to do is into our JavaScript controller, we need to find out this module with the help of our Aura ID using component.find Aura ID here. This Aura ID here text will be replaced with the actual Aura ID that we have given. It might be AMP API, you can say platform event API, you can say real-time demo API, anything, whatever you provide over here, this text must be replaced with this particular text. And then on the button click, we need to subscribe and unsubscribe the methods. We need to call these two methods, which are very important methods. Now let's quickly try to implement this using our Lightning Aura component. For this, again, we already have a Lightning component, but before we actually deep dive into the explanation of this component, let's see from where we got the details of these components. To know that, just go to this Lightning component library. Even I told you how to navigate there, and in the quick search box, just type EMP and you will get EMP API, which is for Lightning Web Components. Now we are working on Aura components. We need to select this EMP API. As soon as you will select this, it will open the complete document for that. This is the very first step that we were talking about. You can change this, and then this is a code here where we have used this code, and then we modified few line of codes in order to make this work as per our need. Now let's quickly try to get back to our developer console, and then we'll discuss. First thing that we discussed is it should have an EMP API module included inside our Lightning Aura component that we did, and then there is an handler which is calling a JavaScript method called onInit on the initialization of your component. This name indicates that this method will be called on the initialization of our Aura component. Here is a method where what we are doing is we are just preparing some table columns. Leave this we will talk about in a later lectures. What here we did is using component.find, and this is our Aura ID. Now let me change it to AMP API new. After changing this, I will save it. Go to controller and change this wherever we are using this AMP API under the find. So what we said is find this EMP API component inside our Aura component HTML mockup, and then call the method on error, which accepts a single parameter, which is a callback function. And we said that if there is any error, just console that error. We don't want our user to see that error and start panicking. This is the very first thing that we did. Next, what we have is we have a lightning card, which is just for displaying some title and icon name. And under that card, we are having one input, which is having a value of by default event batch apex error event, which we will be talking into the next lecture. And then we have lightning button, which is subscribing, and another lightning button for unsubscribing the platform event. And there is one disabled attribute, which is saying that if the subscription attribute is not empty, then disable it. That means we have already subscribed the event. And then for the disabled, we are saying if subscription attribute is empty, that means we have to subscribe the event in order to unsubscribe that. Now this attribute subscription and event message we have declared on top of our Aura component, and for one subscription it is type of map, other one is a string. Now where we are setting this value of subscription event into our controller, whenever we are clicking on this subscribe button, we are again doing the same thing. From the subscribe button, if you scroll down, we are calling this method subscribe. What we are doing is we are finding that EMP API, and then we are getting the channel value. What is the channel value here? Go to your input here. This is our ID, which is channel, and then value is event hyphen batch apex error event, or any other value which we are changing after going to the component. So that is what we are getting. First we are finding that input element, and then we are getting the value. And then reply ID is -2. That means we wanted to see all our old events that we have uh, created while testing our various things like process builder, API, and Apex. And then once we have all these things, we are calling the subscribe method and passing the required parameters, the name of channel, the replay ID, and then callback function. This callback function have one parameter, which is event received, which is just consoling the element over here saying that event received and converting that object into the string format. If the subscription is successful, then we are calling these two lines. One, we are setting this event method saying that subscription request sent to which channel, the channel that we are trying to subscribe. And then we are saying in the subscription, set the value of the subscription record that we are getting. If you wanted to see what value we are getting for the subscription, we can quickly console that as well. Now here you might be thinking, right, there is one callback method which is here, and then there is one more. You are saying that subscription is successful, then call this method. Okay, so what's happening here is this method will call when you click on subscribe, and this callback method is nothing. It will act as a listener for your event. So as soon as you will send any message, any notification, this callback method will execute, and then only you will see this particular log in your project. Next that we have is unsubscribe. Again we are getting this EMP API. This time we need the subscription component, the subscription details, in order to unsubscribe. That is what we have over here. We call that method, we just consoled, we subscribed from the channel, and then we set the subscription as a null so that we can toggle the values. So this is what we have. Now what I did is I added my component over here. You can see the title says standard platform event, but this is for all the events, either standard or high volume platform events. What we will do is refresh the page, and if you don't know how to add this component inside your home page or record page, what you can do is I'll just show you in a very quick way. Click on this gear icon and then go to edit page. Once you are there, in the left hand side you will see all the components standard, and go to the custom here, and you will see the name of your component. The name of my component is platform event component. If you go to developer console, you will see this is the name of my component. What I did is I just dragged and dropped this component anywhere where I want. You can see the green sign. You just need to drop that component over there. You can also drop it over here. Go ahead and save it and get back to your home page. Now before we go ahead and subscribe this, click on inspect. Go to the console. So as you can see, it is different event that you wanted to subscribe, which is test underscore event underscore underscore e. Now if I click on subscribe, I will be able to see all the events, the old event that I have subscribed earlier, because my replay id is -2. Now let's go ahead and subscribe this. We got subscription sent to this event, and then in the near real time we got all the message details, and we also put a debug for displaying the subscription. We can see all the subscription detail over here. It is actually a proxy object. That is why we are using map to store these details, and we have got all these details over here. Now let's delete this. What I'll do is I'll go ahead, as I know as soon as I will create an account record, it will create another platform event. It will subscribe to another platform event. So I'll say that simple save it. So I saved it. If platform event has been occurred, into the chatter section, I will be able to see the chatter which I got over here. And then if we go, we can see that we have got the event, the complete event over here. We are saying it schema, whatever we have got, payload. Under the payload we have got name is simple account record created by id, created date, and then account id. And then under the event we got the replay id, which is a big number 98, 3 times 9 and 2. So that is how we can subscribe our platform event using our Aura component. And similarly, we can do with the help of our Lightning Web component that we did for post topic here. So in the streaming API example, if you try to put this event, let's unsubscribe it, okay, and then try to refresh the page, and we'll see what will happen if we try to subscribe that with the help of Lightning Web component. We'll not talk about what code is behind that, but we'll just talk about this. Go ahead and subscribe this. We got subscription sent to this, and we start receiving all these notifications messages.